Hey everyone, it is Chris. I hope you are doing well. We are here in my garden that is very much still a work in progress. Today is May the, I forgot, 11th in the Chicago area. So it is still not really time for us to plant much yet. I only have one Greenstalk planted, which I showed the other day, which has strawberries in it. I have a few more spots to fill in that one. And today I'm going to work on this Greenstalk. A few days ago, I came over and I amended this one and I amended one back there. Usually when I amend my green stalks, I unstack them and I kind of mix the soil around. I pull out the roots and all of that. This one had only all herbs in it last year, so all of the roots were pretty shallow and small. Plus, we have been getting so much rain that it was heavy. When the soil inside of a green stalk is wet and soaking, it is pretty heavy. My phone keeps making dings. Let me shut that off. So this time I did not unstack. What I did instead was got a little pot and I scooped some soil out of my bucket here. You can actually see the cup, and I scooped it into each pocket, and then I came back and I put a handful of my fertilizer mix in there, which is Espoma Garden Tone, bone meal, blood meal, worm castings, all mixed together in a big bucket. Okay, that's the pink bucket you see over there. So I got a handful of that. I put it in each pocket, mixed it around a little bit. Now it looks kind of wet here because I just came back through and I rinsed off the dirt. So my goal today is to get this sad looking tray of greens and lettuce that I started a while ago planted. They are still fine. I just forgot to come out this morning before work and water them. They were sitting on my patio table, so the water kind of dried up, but they will perk up very soon. So in here we have some red lettuce, bok choy, some purple bok choy. There's a couple of mustard plants and a few other things. And I have some cilantro that I got at a nursery this past weekend. I'm going to tell you all about that nursery in a different video. And I have some sage. So this is going to be mostly greens, but I might come back later and add a few more herbs just for some variety. And I have some onions that I could put in here as well. So the way this little tray works is these are just little grow pods. So easy to use. You just pop out one plant. There's my red bok choy. Look how pretty that one is. It's not wilted. Come over to your green stalk, stick a little hole in there, and you just plant the whole sponge. If you are in my group or you've been watching me for a while, you know I love starting my seeds in something like this or in my arrow gardens, in addition to using traditional seed starters and the Greenstalk seed starter. So you do not remove the sponge. See all those nice roots there wrapped around? You just put that right in the soil and work the soil around it, okay? And it's just that easy. Now, what I love about the leaf planter, which is what this is a leaf planter in lemon, is that there are 42 planting pockets, which means I can put a lot in this space in only 2 feet of space. The original is 30 pockets, which is also good, but the leaf has more pockets and they are smaller. So 7-inch pockets on this one versus 10-inch pockets on the original. And this is great for anything with shallow roots or things that kind of grow above. Like we have the greens, we have herbs, we have lettuce, we've got radishes. There's all kinds of stuff that you could grow in these, okay? And I'll go over the full list momentarily. Let me just plant some more things. Also, there's some volunteers that I left in here. Here's some volunteer basil because that's what was in here last year. So when I saw those, I was careful not to destroy them when amending. So let's put some more plants in. Here is a pretty mustard plant. And I'm just going to keep going and probably speed through some of this in the video. I will not make you watch me plant all 42 pockets. And another good thing to do is, since I have my little scoop over here, where's my scoop? Here we go. If I see that the pockets have kind of settled from the other day from rain, I can scoop a little more soil in there. There we go. And then I'll just rinse off my greens. Okay. I love having variety in my green stalks and lots of color. When I first started with green stalk, there was only a couple of colors, um, but it was pretty. My first one was actually the luscious green, which I still have. You'll see that later. Right now, it's not ready to go. And also, uh, what was the next one after that? Evergreen. I had a lot of evergreens and I thought I might want to just stick with the green family, but nope. Then they started coming out with all these gorgeous colors. So I started adding variety of colors to my garden and all around my yard. And I love it. I really love it. It inspired me to actually expand my raised bed colors too. So I have a lot of raised beds that kind of match some of the green stalks. Another mustard plant. And you know what? Something else about me is I'm not labeling these because these are just leafy greens. Once they start growing, I can pretty much tell what they are. This is mustard. And again, once I soak this and water it, it will perk up. Let's get something else pretty. Let's get some of this red lettuce. See, pretty little red lettuces. And I have found that the red varieties seem to last longer in the heat. They are more heat tolerant. If you plant regular, like romaine lettuce or something like that in the spring, it might bolt pretty fast. Now, I do have a lot of romaine volunteers around my yard that have started to pop up, and I have let them live. Some of them were in my way of other things, so I moved them to a different planter temporarily. But when I started most of what I want, I started a couple of different red varieties, and that's what's going in here as well. Another pretty purple bok choy. And if you see some of these leaves near the bottom that just look so wimpy, you can tear them off. As long as the middle still looks nice and strong, it will grow new leaves. And that is the case with all of these. I think this one will perk up just fine though. We have low 40s coming over the next couple of nights. And after that, we are in the clear pretty much. A lot of people here say that they don't plant their summer stuff until Memorial Day. I'm not waiting that long. I usually plant out around May 15th, which is this Friday, um, which I might do that. But I'm going to put my plants out to harden probably on Wednesday, and we can talk about how I harden my plants at another time. And then some stuff will start being planted on Friday. I also have a lot of stuff from the nursery that I got, which I'm going to have to plant. Oh, and we didn't talk about how many green stalks I'm working with now. I honestly don't know how many of them will be up this year. It will be at least 18. I had 17 up last year, and I got some new ones this year because of being an affiliate. So that's a perk. When they come out with new colors, I can usually get my hands on one. And then there was the warehouse sale. I took advantage of that, I think. And then there was the mystery box sale. I took advantage of that. And so I have a lot of green stalks. There are, I think, 26 on the property. But my idea was to swap out some of the colors, like the boring greens that I was talking about. They're still really pretty, but I just really like the variety now, and I like the pop of rainbow colors around. So we'll see what I end up doing. I might actually gift one of my old ones. And I have some new spots where some of the new ones are going. More on that later. Some of it is kind of exciting. All right. So I'm going to stop talking now and just get this done. And I will be sure to bring you back in a couple days and show you that these plants have perked up nicely, especially now they're going to be in this soil with some good fertilizer. Let's get some more red lettuce. There's 60 plants in that tray, which means I'm going to have some things left over to go somewhere else. Let me go ahead and rip this one off. See, that looks sickly, but nice strong leaves in the middle there. Planting is a messy job. I'm going to have to rinse down this again because I am putting dirt all over it. You also noticed I put on my gloves, rubber gloves, because I do not like having to clean a bunch of dirt from under my fingernails. And I've noticed sometimes the dirt actually stains. Look how pretty that lettuce is, even though I got it all dirty. I need to look up what red variety this is that I started. I'll put it on the screen. I think it was a new to me variety. Oh, we've got some arugula. Let's see how this does. Arugula does not like the heat. Right now we're good. It's not so hot, but we'll see how long this lasts. Trying to stick this red lettuce between other things for the pop of color. We've got another little volunteer in there. I'm not sure what that is just yet. When I see volunteers pop up around my yard, sometimes, most times, I can tell what it is right away. But then other times, there are some things that look similar, and there are even some weeds that will trick you in the beginning and look like real plants. So I usually leave them for a little while if it's not too obvious what it is. And then I'll come back and check it out and then decide, is it something I want to keep, get rid of, move to another spot, or what. I have several things that come back every year in my yard, like chives. Chives are perennial. And in addition to that, if you let them bloom, the pretty purple blossoms, then they can go to seed, and then the seeds spread all over, and the rest is history. So they come back with a vengeance. I end up giving some away, spreading some around my yard, and I need to harvest a whole bunch of them. Then I have an Asian herb called Brighton Shisho, which is really pretty and purple. That one comes up in the spring. It's all over the place already. And I've let it go to seed a couple of years. So I have those popping up many places. And then I have purple oric, which is supposedly a nice spinach substitute. That one is definitely like a cool weather, early spring thing. It's coming up all over the place. And sometimes I move some of those into my green stalks. Oh, and I know I'm going to get the question, because I always do on my green stalk videos, which is, where did I get the round patio stone? So that round patio stone came from a local nursery. They are 24 inches, but I also use smaller square ones in some spots around my yard, and it works out just fine. Okay, I'm going to finish this up. I'll be back. Well, since I just planted these small plants with tiny little roots, I am going to manually water every pocket, and then I'll give a good soaking through the top. But you want to make sure that that water gets on your roots, and if you plant seeds, you lightly water each pocket so that your seeds get wet. But once that's done, the top watering reservoir works just fine. You can get the Greenstalk watering system as well, which works great. I have several of them tied into my irrigation. I don't have them set up again yet this year, not all of them, because we've had those freezing temps and you don't want to bring your hoses and timers and things like that out during a frost. So now that that is pretty much past, I'll be able to do that and get everything hooked up again. All right, cleaning up nicely. Let's talk about what I planted in here and what you can plant in yours. All right, so according to my log for that seed starter, that is organic flame lettuce. That's the red lettuce. Sylveta arugula, Napa cabbage, which I like to experiment. Those will get much bigger in the original, but I will leave a couple of them here in the leaf and see what happens. The rest of them are still in the seed starter. We've got Georgia Southern collards. Same thing. It's a leafy green, but collards can get pretty big. But you can also pick those leaves kind of small. So they'll do fine in the leaf. Black Knight Tatsoi. So the reddish Tatsoi, that's the one that I thought was red bok choy. Let's find that. These here, the little ones here and here. That's actually Black Knight Tatsoi, which is a reddish Tatsoi. I love Tatsoi. If you don't grow that, you should grow it. And then we have Green Wave Mustard. So this was not a huge variety of things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 different things. So that's going to fill out nicely. And then I have my little volunteer basils that I left in here. So yeah, that's going to fill out nicely. And that's not a big variety, but you can plant a lot of stuff in a leaf. Let's look at the Greenstalk list. Asylum, arugula, basil, beets, bok choy, bush beans, carrots, chives, cilantro, dill, fennel, and I do have cilantro, which I'm going to put in the empty pocket down there. Garlic, which is interesting because I've been wondering about that. I knew that they were researching. I wonder if that's spring garlic or what. I'm going to have to find out more. Kale, lavender, lemon balm, lettuce, marigolds, mint, onions, oregano, pansies, parsley, parsnips. Oh, parsnips. Peas, radishes, rosemary, sage, spinach, strawberries, Swiss chard, thyme, and turnips. And then if you look on the list, some of them have asterisks next to them, and those you can do 3 per pocket. Now, so things like radishes, parsnips, bush beans, you can do 3 per pocket in a leaf, okay? And there are, of course, things that you can plant in a leaf that you can also plant in the original, but the leaf gives you a lot of variety. One of my favorite things to plant in the leaf, which I had over here last year, and I'll just put a picture here because it's not planted right now, micro dwarf tomatoes. I grow a lot of micro dwarf tomatoes. I have a lot of seeds because I grow them inside in my small hydroponics. So last year I did a full leaf tower of micro dwarf tomatoes. So that was 42 cherry tomato plants. And those things gave me nice early tomatoes early in the season when I was still waiting for the indeterminates in this bed to get done. Okay, so depending on when you are seeing this video, the Greenstalk Mother's Day sale is still going on. Today is the last day. All planters are $50 off, so you can get a leaf, you can get an original, you can get a great deal on one, you can even get a 3-tier, and a lot of the accessories are on sale too. I'm going to put my link below, and if you use my code LTG10, you get $10 off your purchase of $75 or more. If you want to see all of the things that you can grow on my Greenstalk, again, I only have 2 of them planted right now. I'm going to link to my tips and tours video from last summer, so that'll give you an idea here early in the season of what you can grow and what your Greenstalks will look like when they're full. Ta-ta for now. Be sure to like and subscribe.